Hello and welcome to World Tanks with me, Jack the Ripper, although you'll see me by a different name today because I'm bringing you something slightly different yet somehow the same. Watch carefully and see if you notice the difference. And today I bring you what is, maybe first of many, probably not, this is, as you can probably tell, this is PC footage. You'll hear that glorious noise is Gnomefathers sound mod, which I didn't actually have installed when I did this replay, or when I played the game that has this replay in. But fortunately, it does work, and plays gun noise as well. This is one of the few things I will ever argue makes PC so much better than Xbox. Is purely this mod package. In fact, I believe Gnomefathers, the kid thing he makes this, he is like a 15-year-old. Now this is going to be an interesting thing as well, because I did it on the older version of Sand River and this is got the newer version. So here you'll see is the T35 that I don't even notice bounces somehow off the side of the turret and doesn't bounce. And I'm relatively new to using this replay system, so I don't expect me to get into the cannon. Nice hit there for 441. See, this is why I like the T34. And if any of you watching this footage will serve perfectly well, shall I say, not purposefully, perfectly well for Xbox, because the T34 is the same on both. It really is. But I actually slightly prefer it on PC because everyone underestimates it. See here, I'm trying to get hold down. I'll take a quick shot of that IS-3, I think it was, about this. Shots are coming in, probably from that bridge line up there. This hill, slightly just in front of me, was less developed, actually, on the version that I was running. The tracks each shots. One of the things I look to do with this, it's got a replay system, you can see where shots are bounced off the side of the tank. A nice shot into that medium tank there to finish it off the Type 59. We'll say it at the top, I don't really need to read it out. But yeah, so this is bounce off the side of the tank turret there. Right on the turret ring as well, actually, it's quite lovely. Here I see it's absolutely surrounded, so I'm trying to get hold down into a nice position. 500 damage roll. That is a very nice thing to roll, especially on Tiger. It's only 100 mil of armor, but 500, that's still pretty good. Here, I believe it's T34 3, or whatever they're called. T34 2. Sorry, I'm still not great with the names. I'll recognise which ones they are, but I'm not going to get the name. Now, for some bizarre reason, this guy just sits there in the open. I don't think he's a terrible player. Look at you can see the colour of the enemy team in the list down the side. Tells you XEM stats for how their win rates and things. And he wasn't a bad player, but just for whatever reason, I think I probably did track him. Now, the reason I'm stopping here is because I was actually going to type something. I have no idea what it was to this anymore, but I was going to, but then bothering here. Now, one of the things that this does allow me to do is I can pause it, I can look around, and you can take a much better tactical look. And this is one of the things PC replay system has on World of Tanks over almost any other PC game that I'm familiar with. I mean, the War Thunder has a replay system. It is definitely not this good. You cannot do all this. I mean, the reason I can zoom out this far is the XVM mod package, but still, you see behind me is an interesting thing of that guy. Last time I saw him was full health. That guy was 410 health. He's still 410 health. That guy no longer is full health. Those two over there, and I think there is a Jagdpanther as well, or something like that. There's something else over there, I think. Are shooting him, and he's just letting them basically, and he's not doing any damage to the T34. And at the and it's gonna play out in a way that you could argue is comical, but it develops anyway. Now here you see, got a shot on what I think is a panther going across, and I have actually fully aimed, and I created him. Take out his tracks, repairs his tracks. And you might wonder, well, totally a tiger, why are you charging it? Well, my gun is good, my turret armour is good, my rate of fire is not good. I mean, I have a good crew on this. I think I've got it down to about 12 points per second. You see here, that guy has just died. I get a very lucky clutch shot. Low damage roll though. I mean, an average damage roll, that guy would have been, you know, dead from a ram or HE. Here the IS-3 goes over. You see, I said, ask in chat, have you got this guy? Another thing that's quite nice is that everyone can talk. I know on console, some people don't like to talk because, for whatever reason, people are going to get verbally abused. No idea what Nivid and Gar means. If anyone knows who's watching this, feel free to tell me in the comments. I just assumed it was basically the same as the equivalent of yes. No harm though. Yeah. Slightly forgot what I was saying. Don't know. Yeah, so T34. A relatively good tank. Here I should have acted. I'm lucky that I did both that he missed, but I missed as well. And then, bearing in mind his rate of fire, he backed away. Now stopping here was actually probably slightly silly, but I got away with it. There was a line of sight there. If you look over that ridge line to that guy over there, but it's difficult to tell because this is not the Sand River I actually played on. And you'll see in a minute, and it's quite funny to watch, I essentially drive through a mountain. Nice shot into the rear end of that panther there. You see, I've just fired and the tiger doesn't come at me. I mean, if I was in that tiger, I probably would have got 4 or 5 shots into my T34 by now. Yeah, I mean, he shoots and he bounces off the lower plate. Well, off the plate, sorry, lower plate. But he's shooting at an incredibly, you know, tight angle. It's never likely to hit. And then he's allowed me to reload again. And there, he misses his shot. If I'd just fired, you really are in a position to take your time and get another shot in. Now here, you actually see, he can't shoot me, but I can shoot him. And now he's out the game. Now I am actually going to skip 20 seconds forward. And then here we get to see the fun thing of, this is a major map difference obviously, because they blocked off, because there was 2 paths up and arguably down therefore, up the top here on Sand River. But they've got rid of one of those. And this results in this comical thing that hopefully, it should be any second now, yep, we're about to see of, I said, right, I can't see anyone. I came up here because, as you can see on my mini-map, the Hellcat was originally last spotted up here, it's now over there. Take a pot shot at him, and let's start driving through a mountain. Yes. That's how stonk the T34 is. Mountain, get out of my way. But yeah, that's, for anyone who was wondering what that is basically because this is 9.2 that I'm playing this on. And the actual game played was on 9.1, maybe even 9.0, I'm not even sure about it. This was genuinely one of my first ever games on PC. Then yes, I had an XVM installed before I'd ever played a game. Jump to 20 seconds forward here, because as you can see, no damage. I've not done any more damage since, but I've got another 1600 damage to wrap up here. I've got to love the engine sound. If people want, I will link either add it to this description or the next one. Link to getting Gnomefathers, because it's absolutely brilliant. Any wargaming devs play, speak to this kid, find out how he does it, what he does, and put it in your game. Because this, if World of Tanks Xbox sounded like this, nice hit there. See, this is what made this game good. I don't think I rolled below average like more than once or twice. But yeah, if you can find out what that kit's done to get this game sounding that great, then quite frankly, I think no PC player could ever argue that Xbox is anything but better. There you go, it's a 229 out of the game. See here, I'll take a hit. It's again this upper plate, which I think it must have been the Panther that shot at me. Because I don't think the Tiger 2 would have bounced. And I got a quite lucky shot. I wish I could see the barrel view of this, but quite frankly I'm not used to this system yet. But you have an idea of what's going on. And this is one of the advantages of XVM, is how far you can zoom out. Now there, I tried to fire through a wall hoping it'd hit him, but either the wall was too thick or the shot just missed or lost too much penetration, I'm not sure. Here, I do have a slight shot on him, but not enough. It's not a safe shot, he has still got health, so I take the time, aim in, 453, yet again, that's a point average damage roll. And that is the end of that game. Well, let's give this a go. This could be arguably one of my easiest ways of ever having to having. It's interesting. I've invented a new word there for you, and feel free to use it. And without having to do something slightly more complicated. Usually, I use a screenshot and then have to do a commentary. Here, I can actually be interactive, and this is another benefit of the PC system. Now you see here, damage by allies to enemy vehicle you detected. So that's spotting damage, let's just be honest. And you can see some more interesting things here. Now, I don't think this will tell you... No, unfortunately, unlike when you actually finish the game, it doesn't tell you what specific critical hits you got. But here you get a nice look at the leaderboards, and this was my first Ace Tanker game. I did actually get another Ace Tanker game in this about 4 games afterwards. So it was a good day, that specific day. But this is some of the things, and this is what I would love to see eventually fully in place. I mean, things like this. Damage blocked by armour. That's a nice thing to know. I mean, we've already got hits received, penetrations, non-penetrations. I don't think we've got hits received as a result of splash damage or anything like that. I'm not sure, I can't remember what exact things we've got of this, but I know we've got most, but not all yet. Now, the thing that made this a good game was basically the fact that I was able to fire 22 shots. I mean, this is a tank that barely has a rate of fire of... I think I've just about got mine just to 5 rounds a minute. Basically. I think it's 12.5 or something seconds, so it works out as about 4.86 or something silly like that. So it's close enough to 5. And I was able to keep firing, and that's not something you always have in a T34. This is my only dislike I've ever had of the T34, is once you fired, you are kind of out the game for a bit. And I know I'm someone who has a Yagi 100, I have an FV215B, but when you're out of the game with those, you've done 1,000 damage or more. I mean, even with my Yag Tiger, which has just like has a better rate of fire of 5.5, I average like 160 more damage per shot. So I fire more, and I fire for more damage. And then you think, oh, well, yeah, but that's at a higher tier. Well, okay, the T32 fires for lower damage, but the DPM, I think, is better. I think the Lerva's got about the same DPM, but because you can keep firing, you're more likely to actually keep doing damage. You know, if... the first few games I had with the T34 on Xbox, and obviously not the same on PC, people didn't... I got one when they were new, so people didn't know what to do. They'd kind of, pop up, and suddenly you'd there, and you'd shoot them for 400 to 450 damage, and they'd kind of go, ah, that guy hurts at tier 8, what the hell? And they'd run away. Remember, at that time, there was no Russian line, there was no IS-6 or IS-3 or even IS or KV-1S. None of these were the 400 average damage guns at lower tiers. So this was one of the hardest hitting tanks that wasn't a tank destroyer. And eventually people went, wow, he's not firing for a while. What should we just go at him? And people rush the thing, and it works. If you can get it isolated, then it will die because anyone can rush it, and its turret turns so slowly. But yeah, you see, 1459 XP. I do believe that the XP system must work differently, because some of the games I've had where I've had that amount of XP as base XP on Xbox, they're nowhere near as good as the games I had in this, and vice versa. I've had much better games on PC that have got nowhere near as much XP. I had my first game in a Crusader, I got a Radley Walters medal, and if it wasn't for the fact that at the very last second I got hit by Artie, I would have actually also got the standalone versus 5 tanks thing. In fact, it was standalone against 6 tanks, so, you know, fair enough. And because I got a medal, you get the same amount of XP you would have got if you'd won, and I still only got about 1100. And I mean, I did like 3000 damage or something in a tier 5 tank that wasn't even fully upgraded, and I only got 1100. On Xbox I probably would have got about 3 grand for that, but yeah, that's how it works out. A detailed report here. So I mean, this is basically the same as Xbox. You don't get things like start time though, I don't think, and I think this breakdown's probably a little more accurate. But yeah, I'll hopefully this video has worked. I have listened back a little bit to it, and I'm sorry that the main body of the video, the audio is a tad quiet at points. I will try and work on that in the future. Maybe I'm either going to have to record the audio separately, or I'm just going to have to turn World of Tanks way down, because quite frankly it sounded quite loud to myself, but I don't know how. At the time I don't know how loud I sound, so it was awkward to tell. Anyway, thank you. If you've enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments or by liking. If you wish to, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you on the battlefield.